Hello, everyone. It is Topic Tuesday. So I am, um, the power is out at my house. I'm trying to conserve the energy on my laptop because, of course, I have like Zooms all day. And so I'm doing this on my phone, which I don't normally do. So I'm hoping this is all looking okay. All right, so today we're going to talk about learning consistency. I just did a blog post about this. I'll share it later. So last month I totally forgot to do my monthly blog. I do one once a month, and I completely forgot to do it. And at first I started to get really down on myself about that, like, oh my gosh, how could you forget to do that? Blah blah blah. And then I took what for those of you who've worked with me, I love what I call the big pause, and I stopped and went, okay, is this literally the end of the world because you forgot to write a blog post? It's not. And is it something that we can learn something from? Of course it is, right? So, learning how to be consistent is one of our bigger challenges because we're really good at starting things and then the dopamine wears off because the novelty's worn off and then we find the shiny new object, right? And it's not like I have a shiny new object with my blog post. I just didn't have it in my calendar. So that is one of the things that I do recommend for people is if there is something that you want to be consistent on, whether it's reaching out with friends and family you don't see often because out of sight, out of mind also happens with people, put it in your calendar to reach out to those people. Um, or put in specific things that you really want to do for your business or for your work that you need to get done on a regular basis. Put lots and lots of reminders on it. I think it was last week I talked about tools, and don't be afraid to use tools. Use as many of those reminders as you need for it, right? Um, Also, just understanding that because we also have all or nothing thinking, very often if we like miss a day of something, we just kind of give up on the whole thing. I have certainly been guilty of that in the past. And remember that just as long as, you know what, I missed that month, no big deal. I wrote a post for this month and we're all good, right? So if you forget to do a task that you were maybe wanting to do daily, maybe daily is a big ask right now. So ask yourself, was that kind of a one off? Or maybe do I need to say, okay, maybe I'll do this 3 days a week as opposed to 7 days a week? Because we also have go big or go home thinking, right? And so we want to do, we're going to work out 7 days a week. And I have clients that come to me with that. And I'm like, please don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure with that one. Let's look at like 2 to 3 days a week, especially if there's somebody who hasn't worked out, or if somebody wants to, again, maybe something they want to do with their business and they want to do something 7 days a week. And I'm like, let's start off with 2 to 3 days a week and see how that works and see what comes up for you and see how consistent you can be with that. And as I always say, just be curious. Don't judge, just be curious. If you miss a day, ask yourself again, was that a one off? Or what else might have been going on? Was I feeling resistance towards doing it? So I, became, what is the phrase that I call it, like productive procrastination took over and you suddenly did other things instead of the one thing that you were supposed to do. There's a lot of layers to this that I can't get into in a short live, but and I'm probably all over the place. But anyway, you get my drift, which is start with smaller segments of things that you want to be doing on a consistent basis. Put everything you can into some form of app that will remind you, and then actually pay attention to those reminders. Because I've been known to kind of go, oh, yeah, I'll remember that. And I dismiss it. And then, so I don't dismiss any reminders until, excuse me, until I am done with them. Excuse me. So anyway, so maybe make your goals into smaller chunks. Remember that we do forget people and to put those people into your calendar so you remember to reach out to them. And also don't necessarily hesitate to let them know that that is part of your ADHD, by the way. I think I'm going to do a whole like live just on this topic, but it really does impact a lot of relationships. And I think it's important for the people in our life that we love to know that it's not that we don't love them. We just literally forget they exist because they're not in front of us all the time. And that's part of ADHD. You can send them videos like this so they know that it's not just you saying that as an excuse, but it is a very real thing. So if you want to be more consistent though with your friends and you don't want everything on them to remember to reach out to you, putting it in your calendars are really good. Is a really good way to remember to reach out to people. There are more ways, but of course my mind is drawing a blank on them because I'm live and yay. But anyway, I'm thrilled that you guys this group has just been growing so much, and I'm just thrilled. And again, you guys have been so positive in this group and so supportive of the people in this group, and I just simply love that. And so keep up the good work because that really makes a huge difference in terms of how people start to view themselves with their ADHD, knowing that this is there are good things that can come from it. And yes, we have our challenges, consistency being one of them. But there is, there's always solutions for something. It may not necessarily be what, neurotypical people like, but it doesn't matter. It's what works for you. Um, okay, now that I've like covered like 16 different topics in this Topic Tuesday, I am going to sign off now. So everybody have a fabulous week. And if you haven't signed up for it, it's on my business page. I am having a free masterclass on goal setting with ADHD for women. So if that is something that you think you might be interested in, check it out. It's on the business page. And I think that's it. Everybody have a fabulous week.